Welcome back for another World of Warships Legends. Today we've got the Hōshō, the Japanese Tier 3 aircraft carrier. And I am back looking at the Hōshō this time. And again, I apologize if I am not pronouncing that correctly. So, let's take a quick look at her visually. We do seem to have two secondary cannons in the front. A little bit of AA on either side here. She's got an interesting layout. I'm interested to see how it spits out smoke through them heat pipes there. And we've got a little bit more AA on the side here. So far, not as many emplacements, but they look like they are more advanced than the Langley. I am not seeing any additional secondary cannons on here, and we'll check that in a minute with the artillery slot. All in all, it's a really slick layout for a flat top. Is that what they call these things? Flat tops? I mean, it's clearly got a flat top to it. Anyways, I am mumbling. Moving on, let's go jump in here and take a quick look first at our modification slots here. Again, for my build, I have gone secondary battery heavy, and of course this is also a very valid mod to use to boost your return speed of the aircraft. In slot 2, I have once again gone secondary, and the hit point benefit might be more useful in this one, considering I believe we have let me turn this a little bit, we have more feeble aircraft in this build, so you may choose to boost your hit points a little bit. Though we do also benefit from having stealthier aircraft. Take a really quick look here. It's somewhere here. Detectability range is 6.7 currently on the torpedo bomber, and 10 on the dive bomber. And I think that is because of my commander build. And then in this slot again, we'll uninstall this briefly so you can see how many hit points that adds. Not significant, but any little bit helps. And over here, I will let you mostly read these yourselves if you want to pause and check it out. That's right. There is four singles. So I wonder where the other two is. It does look like this is a significantly faster boat, because I believe the Langley is about 15 or 16 knots. And depending on your build out, I believe this one is even stealthier. I'm going to take a quick look at the commander. Once again, the base trait is AA focused. And sporting my secondary mod build on here, I have continued with Franz von Hipper, and then the damage reduction of Inigo. And some of this is very much the same. This one here is actually identical to King's layout. I think the numbers are the same too. And I'm sporting the AA one. Here we can boost our hideability, detectability, whatever you want to call it. So we could boost this significantly here by turning this on. But I tried to boost the torpedo damage and I went torpedo build because the bombers, the torpedo bombers, have low yield torpedoes. And then following that, I stuck with hidden threat to continue the torpedo build on this one. And you could also opt for the out of sight for the dive bombers, or the rudder shift, which actually is pretty decent already. So this was maybe the least useful. And then here again we have a detectability. We could boost the burn damage of the HE bombs if we wanted to. I went detectability though. And in our legendary slot, I have gone with fully packed. That way I benefit from the additional consumable charge. As much as I would like to use We Are Legion, I do not anticipate anybody hanging out around the aircraft carrier to give me the benefit of the minus 20% incoming damage. But the airspeed of torpedo bombers would be beneficial. And one last look at this boat. So the bow has secondaries. Oh, there's the other secondary. So right in the middle walkway there is adjacent secondary cannons. Alright then, let's go ahead and throw this one out into a match and see how it does. And here we are in Airstrike on Estuary Domination. Now I did not get into a match that had full player teams, but it's what I got. And I think it's because there's a lot of people trying to play aircraft carriers and only aircraft carriers. And I'm basing that off the fact that I've gotten kicked out of the matchmaking a couple of times with the message about an overload, a server overload, and try something else. Alright, so first thing here, we're going to start out trying to figure out which way we want to go. And I'm kind of glancing around looking to see where the other players spawned. And I did see one closer to me, and I didn't notice the other one at first in the on the right side there, but that's where the other player is. And then we're gonna back off that speed just a little bit, because I don't want this thing sitting still. And we go ahead and we start out with torpedo bombers. Usually I scout with the dive bombers, but this time I decided to just go straight in. Still looking for the best place, the most needed place for me to be. And this other point over here is contested already, so I decided to come off over this way. See if we can lend a hand, although I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do here because it is really hard to hit destroyers. Now maybe with a bunch of practice might be able to actually land some hits on them. But I think for the most part, the only thing you can do is maybe deter some players in destroyers. And then we're gonna try and break off here, I think, because we're taking a lot of AA fire. I do think with this patch that AA fire has become a lot more accurate, because I remember that the spotter planes that the cruisers and battleships used to put up in the air used to be really hard to shoot down, but the AA has been a lot more accurate since this patch. And there's a slow moving target, so we're going to drop those close and we get the double impact with an incapacitation. And now, since I only have the 2 bombers with me, I am going to go ahead, I'm on this end of the map, I'm going to go find out where their aircraft carrier is. And I'm going to teach him a lesson in not sitting in one spot. Right here, he's giving me a really juicy target. He is not moving. And I want to point out real quick that if you decide to take the aircraft carrier this early on in the match, you do not want to come over here with a full squadron. You want to be at most 2. Because those planes are not going to make it back to the carrier. And we did get our double impact. And we're hopefully waking that guy up, and he will start to figure out, you know, you can't sit still. And here I had a destroyer coming into this point. He's danger close, so take the dive bombers out. I'm rewarded with an impact here, but remember these destroyers are really hard to hit. You'll watch me miss time and time again with dive bombers. Even with a big target like a battleship, I will miss a lot. Here we're trying to aim in front again to see if we can hit where it's going to be. Miss. And I've got one more attempt. He's still got too much health. And he is on a death run for the battleship. Let's give this one more try and see what happens here. Oop, he got his fish out. Looks like I missed. And we are launching the torpedo bombers. It does look like, I don't know if the secondaries are doing it, but that battleship is winning that match. And here I notice, I believe that was a player off to the side, and I'm gonna turn around here and go try and hunt this one down. And we're gonna run up on him, and he's turning the way we want him to, so we're gonna do a quick adjust out. The harder you turn though, there we go, I'm rewarded with a kill. The harder you turn, the more that aim point is gonna go out into the angles. So you wanna be careful with that. And here, you'll notice that I held back on the throttle because I was really close there, so I was pulling back on the left stick, and I'm rewarded with 2 impacts. And I'm going to take another run on that carrier because we're down to, we're 2 on 3 here. And I know this is an AI match, so it's arguably easier than it would normally be, and look at that, it doesn't look like he moved at all. See, the bombers are, there's the carrier. These bombers are leading me right into him. Let's see if he learned his lesson at all. Is he moving at all? Does not look like there's a bow wake on it. So we're gonna take another clean run on them. Drop those last minute. and we see double impact results. We've got a couple of battleships over here. We're going to try and mop up. I do have a full squadron here again. It is always better if you can make your runs without getting your aircraft destroyed, because you will have them ready to use much faster. And it looks like either he tried to make a run on me with his bombers, or it was just that that other battleship was so close to me. But I got a couple of aircraft kills there. I got the battleship kill. There's another aircraft shot down. You can just rack up those aircraft kills when they come in too close on you. And we're gonna line up and we're gonna take another shot at this guy here. This one has a lot of health yet. And then we're going to gun into this a little bit and aim right before. Again, we've got another slow moving target. You're going to want to aim further if it's a cruiser, even more if it's a destroyer. But it's a satisfying couple of impacts there. And all that AA fire coming in. Now he is too close. I don't like this, so I am going to take another run on him before I go back after that carrier. And here we're going to come in really close to him, and we're going to try and make sure that we don't drop him while he's still in that yellow zone. I am getting hit by something. We're changing direction here. Looks like secondary fire coming in. More aircraft shot down. Back that throttle off a little bit and launch another bomber. More or less I was trying to change my angle to minimize my impact zone. Now let's go ahead and drop this guy in on their run. Now I was coming in really hard here, so I didn't actually have enough time for it to tighten up, but I still get the double impact. But you see how they split if you don't let them come in. So I'm going to pull back on the stick this time again because I'm really close. So that slows us down enough to get our tightened pattern in here, and I think this one is going to finish it. There, we got the one torpedo did it. And we're going to take our two bombers here, and I do notice that we are detected again. There's his set of bombers. Though he's fortunately got enough health over there that I don't think I have to worry about losing that one too quickly. I think that's an AI battleship that's left with me at this point. And you can hear our boat is screaming at me because I'm about to crash into an island. I'm glad that we don't have environmental damage. Alright, and we're gonna pull in here and start going in for our attack run. He still looks like he's in the exact same spot. I don't see a bow wake, so we're gonna go straight at almost here, and I think only one of those is gonna hit him, because I pulled it too far. Yep, only one. And yep, I ran into the island, so we're just gonna back it up. And I was curious to find out if the aircraft would just ram into the rock here, so I decided to launch. Yeah, I mean, what better time to find out what's gonna happen? It would have been funny if they would have just crashed right into the rock face. And another run. And this is why you don't want a full squadron if you can help it. And you're about to see just how bad this run is going to be. You see 2 sets of his bombers are returning there. And let's start our approach. We do finally see a bow wake on him. He has decided to start moving. We're going to pull back on that stick a little bit and then ram it forward. And we're going to go ahead. I was going to look back to see what happens there. You can see just how fast, that squadron went. And he is almost done. Now, if only it had started a flood. But I don't know if it's even possible to get flood or burn on a carrier, because the damage control, the decon, is it's automatic, and I don't know how the game calculates its cooldown. And it's possible that that's something that they are still kind of tweaking from their test results here. I honestly don't know anything about how well carriers went over on the PC, but considering how they are a permanent feature there, I have a feeling that it's just a matter of time before it's permanent here. So let's come on in for a final run here, where we get that nice and tight. He is still only going in a straight line, so we got a clean run in here. And both of those would have hit, but hey, you know, we're here, we're done, and the survey says 89,000 damage, 22 torpedo hits, and that makes 4 kills. And I know it's a majority AI, so there's not much I can do about that right now. The player base is split between airstrike and standard for the campaign, with the early access heavy cruisers for the British line. So I think it's by design to not overload the servers. Well, anyways, until next time, take care.